Welcome back. You are tuning in to Traders Nation. My pleasure always to have with us here today Jack Crooks. He's an investment advisor, editor of World Currency Alert and World Currency Options. Jack, welcome to Traders Nation. How are you today?
Great. Thanks for having me again. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Listen, Jack, Euro sinks, pound cracks, ComDols plunge. What the heck is a ComDol?
ComDol is commodity dollars.
Oh, is it?
And that's what that is. That's that fancy word for commodity dollars.
I thought it was something I had with my coffee in the morning. A little cream cheese on top, a little cream cheese on my ComDol.
Forex guys do that to try and sound smart.
Is that what it is, Jack? For crying out loud! All right. Do ComDols have holes in them, or are they holeless?
They have holes in them at the moment. That's for sure.
All right, let's talk about this. Are there any bright spots out there with the dollar right now?
A lot of bright spots. The dollar's really surprising. You know, when you just, without even knowing anything about economics, you think about just the terrible news that keeps hitting the press day after day after day,
right.
And the dollar continues to trend upward. It's quite interesting.
Is the press getting it wrong?
I think the press is getting it wrong. You know, we're long-term bullish on the dollar here.
Sure.
We're kind of looking for a bottom, and I think they got it very wrong.
All right, so what do the press is armchair amateurs. Would you agree with that? I mean, listen, when you got, and I don't want to beat up the press, but, you know, they deserve it sometimes, let's face it. You know, in Congress, too. Congress, you know, you got people up in Congress that don't know what they're talking about. And they're part of the problem too. So where do we get good information? If the dollar's weak, but there's some bright spots with the dollar.
Yeah, there is. I think you just have to pay attention to the market and try and tune out some of these analysts. I mean, we've had a huge negative sentiment extreme. I spoke in Vancouver in front of 900 people. There wasn't one person that had anything good to say about the dollar during a week at that conference. So I stood there and said, "Hey, this is what you call an extreme, a sentiment extreme."
Yeah.
And when you get these, when everybody's one way, it's usually when the markets start to fool you.
That's right. So we need a sentiment extreme index. What do you think?
We do.
What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, we do, and we follow it qualitatively. For example, you just nailed it.
Yeah.
We can see financial press that's very, very negative, and then we just watch the price action of the dollar. And if it moves against or moves, is good price action relative to very bad news, just think to yourself, something may have changed here.
Right. All right. Yeah. When everybody's you're at a bottom when everybody's sour on it. I mean, everybody. Okay. All right. So let's talk about let's talk about ComDols. And pounds and euros. It looks like European currencies are starting to weaken up a little bit. Does that mean anything to us?
It means a lot to us because I think we might see them travel down the same business cycle path that we've traveled. And number two, we saw in July, commodity prices fell the most they've in 28 years. So if this commodities correction continues, it not only hurts the ComDols, the commodity dollars, but it gives the European central banks room to cut rates. And if that happens, that will be very supportive for the U.S. dollar.
All right. Is this like a worldwide slowdown we're seeing? Maybe we'll see the dollar come up and see the other currencies come meet it?
That's part of the story. Exactly right. We think the worldwide slowdown is going to be deflationary, and these commodities are just puffed up a bit on that. And as I said, a slowing growth, falling commodities tends to let the other central banks cut rates. We don't think the Fed's going to cut again.
Now, Jack, we talked to you about deflationary boom, didn't we, at one time?
We did.
I thought so. Good enough. Where can we find you at, Jack?
Moneyandmarkets.com.
Moneyandmarkets.com. Give us a quick, what do we see? I think we got like 30 seconds. Deflationary boom is what?
Well, deflationary boom is the idea that, U.S. multinational suppliers do very well in that environment. They're manufacturing offshore at very low rates. And if we see a deflationary boom with the U.S. dollar rising, it increases our purchasing power.
Perfect. That's great information. Moneyandmarkets.com. Moneyandmarkets.com. As always, Jack, we appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
All right, Jack Crooks is his name. Moneyandmarkets.com is the game. That's where you want to be. Head on over to there. Up next, more guests, your calls, and back to my stock list, because I got a great list today. You don't want to miss any of that. We'll be right back.